go like this. We have something for Elena as well. Linda, can you just help? Ladies and gentlemen, please, a big round of applause for Elena. Um, Thank you very much. So that was Elena over there talking us through the idea innovations. Before I move forward, I would quickly like to tell our IT guy to ask the audience to change their names, allow them to change the names, give this permission and start recording the conference. And also the support to give the message to the online audience to keep changing the names. Okay. With this, as we were talking earlier with about stakeholders and our stakeholders, we began with the clients like the students, and we had our teenagers coming in. But it's not only we are thinking about the teenagers or the students as well. As we said at KNOWLO, we are working towards every stakeholders of a learning organization. And another one very important stakeholder of this learning organization are the teachers. So Lauma and Evolita, it's not only you students who have some issues, we teachers also have issues. So yeah, about teachers, the modern day teacher, what kind of limitations, what labyrinth they go through, what challenges they have to face through. And this is an never ending mission for them to overcome these challenges. And we are honored here that we have with us Karina Spritzane, a learned researcher at the Latvian University. And I would like to welcome her over the stage, and she'll walk us through the limitations and the challenges of the teachers in the modern day atmosphere. And she'll also help us to know how we can overcome them. Karina, can you please? I'll put it here, the center. Here you go.
So, good morning, everybody. My name is Karina Spritzane, and I was kindly invited here today to talk about constraints in today's teaching environment. As you already heard, I am also a teacher. I have experience in teaching for 10 years. And before we start with the limitations, I would like to very briefly talk about teachers' role right now in these days. So if we look back in the past, teachers' role were mainly to transfer our knowledge of a particular subject to our students. Of course, this is actual and current right now, but as the result of teaching and learning has changed, and now we talk about the result of teaching as a competence of using digital skills, competence of having critical thinking. Also, our role has a big change, and we talk also about leading the student learning of process. So we guide them through it, we mentor them. And now, as it's always in life is, we have some obstacles that distracts us, teachers, from actually doing successfully our work. And let's talk in detail. So the first one is, of course, heavy workload. If you are teachers, you know that we manage classroom instructions. We plan lessons. We are also a bit like psychologists to students. We communicate with students. We communicate with parents. We do the administrative tasks as well. And heavy workload actually can restrain the time from independent student learning. It can also restrain our attention from professional development and actually from a healthy work-life balance as well. Because sometimes heavy workload, and it happens a lot, I see it from my colleagues, it leads towards burnout. Secondly, lack of respect. Actually, I have to admit that as a teacher, in today's society, I think teachers are questioned quite constantly by society and especially by parents about our ability to teach and lead the process of teaching and learning. And this is what I always say, please trust us. We are trained professionals. We know our job. And also, I would like to talk here about the lack of respect between teachers themselves. We have different generation teachers right now working at school. And within those teachers, we have also different pedagogical styles. And sometimes teachers with more experience and those teachers who have less experience have some disagreement and lack of respect as well. And then the next, recognition. Yes, so the recognition correlates quite well with a lack of respect as well. And I must say that the recognition is a paramount in acknowledging actually the valuable work teachers do for the society and for our students as well. And teachers want to feel recognized, and we want to feel that we are treated as highly professionals. And sometimes when somebody asks to me, hey, Karina, what's your profession? I'm like always, I'm a teacher. Why? And it doesn't feel very positive. Yeah? They always ask, didn't you have anything else to go to study? And I say, no, I had opportunities, but I didn't want to. So as already our teenagers here told about the salary, yes, we have to talk about it as well, because I strongly believe that teacher salaries influence the quality of education our children receive. Teachers' salaries, I must say, right now in Latvia, they are not aligned with that responsibility, dedication, and the impact we have on our students. And I think it's quite understandable that actually offering competitive salaries for teachers would attract and also retain highly professional teachers. Yeah, because the number, for example, 2 years ago in Latvia, almost 2,000 vacant job places where, if we talk about teacher positions, I think the number says it all. So, and also about lack of resources. So this includes no supporting materials, limited resources towards digital technologies, or actually no access at all to the digital technologies. It also includes outdated textbooks or no textbooks at all for teachers. Yeah. And of course, also insufficient funding for classroom supplies. Yeah. And can you imagine that in the 21st century, we are still talking about those situations at schools where, for example, math teachers do not have a one particular textbook approved by the government from which they could teach. In this case, we have to create our own theoretical basis. We have to create our own materials. And this is the time we steal from our families, because this is what should be done and approved by the government. And yes, so the next thing is large class sizes and diverse student needs. Those are very significant challenges for teachers. It is very difficult to manage a class with diverse student needs. We have many students with learning disabilities, with specific codes, and also with different learning styles. And sometimes it can also strain teacher resources and also effectiveness of teaching as well. And can you imagine, you have a class, let's say grade 6, with 26 students or 28 students in it. 10 of them have specific codes, which means that basically for every single student, you will have to provide different tasks and materials. Then you have 10 students on the average level, if I may say so. Then you have 6 students who are talented. And then you have 2 students who are just sitting in the classroom. They have never something with them, and they are just sitting in the class. And you are the only teacher in the class, and you have no assistants. It's very overwhelming. Documentation and administrative pressure. I would like to talk about the documentation. I am not saying that documentation is not needed. It is essential, but we simply have to find a way how to balance it in order so that we can pay our attention more to the teaching rather than actually doing administrative tasks. Yes, about the lack of professional development, I also have something to say. And the key word here would be qualitative professional development. Because actually in Latvia, we have a lot of courses for teachers, but the question is, are they all qualitative? No? And when we teachers face the shortage of professional development, it sometimes can lead to the situation when we cannot be current with the best practices and also with the innovative teaching methods. And yes, teachers need to learn lifelong, definitely we need, but it's only possible if there are quality professional development options. And yes, parental involvement. So in today's teaching philosophy, one is clear. Parental involvement is necessary, definitely. We can't live without it. And I always talk about 3 types of involvement. So the first one is active involvement, which means that parents are all hands-on on their children learning. They participate, they communicate with the teachers, they answer our calls. And but this sometimes can lead to a bit risky situation where already parents start to give advice to the teachers on how actually we need to work. And they start to question our ability about being able to teach at school. Then there is the second level, and this is the average parental involvement, where actually parents involve in those when it's necessary, and when it's not, they do not interfere. And then there is the third level, which is non-existent parental involvement. And those are those parents who do not answer our calls. Those are those parents who never answer our emails, messages, WhatsApp messages. And actually, these are the parents for those students who really need the parental involvement, but they simply do not receive it. And then, of course, I have to talk about digital technologies and digital skills, competencies for teachers, and also artificial intelligence. Yes, I strongly believe that while we are living in this digital era, teachers must have developed highly developed digital skills. We must know how to use digital technologies. We must know how to use different kind of gadgets, platforms, and tools for interactive teaching. But there is also one problem. We have very different generation teachers at school, and some teachers have no basic digital skills at all. And that's the truth. Some of them have basics, some of them have very high knowledge of digital skills, but some of them do not have any. Then, of course, we must be educated about artificial intelligence as well. We must, as teachers, we must know when we need to use it in order to ease our teaching process, and we also have to know how to use it in order to teach our students something new. And plus, we also have to understand that students are using artificial intelligence as well. And we have to keep that in mind and also integrate into our teaching process. Yeah, but it's of course very difficult for those teachers who do not have basic digital skills. Yeah, and there is a huge gap. As you can see many adjectives here on the slide, I truly believe that teaching is all those words and even more. Teaching is fun, teaching is interesting, but it's also a bit tiring and difficult. It's rewarding, but it's also overwhelming. And I, as a teacher myself, I always really appreciate all tools, methods, frameworks, platforms that has been created in order to help us in our job. And if we have such frameworks as KNOWLO framework, then it's great. And I think teachers should be using them in order to become more adaptive on ongoing changes in education and, of course, become more confident in various fields. Yes, so being a teacher is mission possible. It's not impossible, it is possible. We just sometimes need a little bit help, a little bit of recognition. And I think it's also a time for society to change the way we look at the teacher's profession. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, here, Karina, wait for a second. We will not let you go again like this. So here's a small gift from us. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Karina, please. Okay, before I call our next guest, I will again tell my online audience, if you have any problem, write us on the chat. We have given you all the permissions to interact with us. If you have any questions, please write us on the chat and we'll pour those questions to our presenters here. Please change your name. Please make sure that you have your right name. And if you still have problems, try to write us in the chat and we'll try to make things better for you. Okay. As Karina was talking about the KNOWLO framework, it can help the teachers achieve this mission possible. And who else can better tell us about the KNOWLO framework than one of our partners? And for this, I would like to welcome on stage Wanda Novokshonova. She's also the co-founder and senior partner of Eurofortis IT. And she will tell us how KNOWLO can help learning organizations. Wanda, this is for you.
Okay, hello everyone. Nice to see you here. And I will talk about the smart learning organization. I will explain what does it mean and what it takes to become one, and maybe why you should become one. And I'm representing Eurofortis here. We are a Latvian partner. I'm originally from Czech Republic, but representing Latvia in different European projects and also in KNOWLO project. So, if you want to start anything new, you are usually thinking why you should do it, right? And it's true for individual, it's true for the organization. Then you are also thinking how you can do it. What are the steps? And the third thing is what you need. What are the tools? What can help you to achieve this your aim? And starting with why is very essential for introducing the smart learning organization into your organization. Because only when you understand why, you can motivate also others to join you, to be on the bus with you. And it's not really an easy task. this I can say. So why to become a smart learning organization? What it can bring? It can bring a higher motivation of people involved. It can bring also better results. It's usually after some time. It brings a different mindset because your organization or you as an individual will be more oriented towards the continuous improvements. This is the never-ending process. And in the end, when you are a smart learning organization, you also know how to learn from each other, how to learn from other organizations. And that's a very important point that organizations and individuals are often struggling with. I think you will agree with me. Everyone is interested to learn from the other, but not everyone is interested to share the knowledge. What do you see here on this picture? Jungle, okay. Something else? There are some people that know this picture, so please don't participate. Yes, yes, that's correct. Something else? Okay, it's a tiger that is in a jungle, and this tiger could be organization or individual, doesn't matter, but all around there is this environment. It's not only about one organization or about one individual, but we are part of the environment, and it influences us. And smart learning organization, as we see it, it's a holistic approach. It's about everything that is happening in the organization and everything that is influencing the organization. You can answer these questions to yourself. How do you feel in your organization? And if you maybe don't feel proud to be the part of this organization, then why? What's the reason? And how you can maybe change it, how you can improve it. Everyone has different needs, yes, but there are certain needs that every one of us needs to achieve, need to have. And these needs, I think every one of you know, it's a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And the three very important needs are feeling safe, it's to belong and to matter. And in an organization with an excellence culture, in a smart learning organizations, all these needs are there. All the people that are working at the organization, they feel safe, they feel that they matter, that they really can influence something in the organization. And I believe that you will agree with me that it's really important for every one of us. Where to start with this excellence culture, with this change? That's a question. To start, it's a one thing. You have to understand what's your motivation, as I mentioned already, why you want to go for it. But the second thing is to sustain and to develop everything further. And I think that's one of the most complicated tasks. Also, from my experience when working with different organizations, they often start, but they don't continue them. And it's a question, why? What's the problem? And how we can support them. And that's what we try to do in the KNOWLO project. We developed a methodology that will lead the way that will help the organizations and individuals to sustain the excellence culture. There are certain components of excellence culture of smart learning organization. And here are them, but it depends on every organization, definitely. It can differ. It's not that for everyone is the same. Just those are from my experience the most often and the most important. It's excellent leader. And I don't speak about only one CEO, one director. I talk here also about informal leaders. These our colleagues are very important for the process to be successful. Then also there is a partner network, the regularly performed self-assessment. I think that many of you know the word self-assessment, and not in the best in the best sense, but here I talk about the voluntary self-assessment that you perform because you want your organization to develop. That's why you do it. That's the aim. And if you want just to implement the excellence culture, just because you heard that it's good and you don't understand why, and you do self-assessment only because you have to, it will not work in this case. Here it works only when you have the motivation, you have the right motivation. Okay, this is the, now it moved. Okay, great. These are the questions that I wanted to ask you here, that you are here on place. Maybe you could talk with your shortly with your neighbor at the table. If you think that at your organization that there are present those components of excellence culture, and what does it mean for you? Why to go for this? Why to talk about organization and environment, and why it's important to develop the organization? Why we just don't go to work every day and just do our job? Why it is important? I will give you 2 minutes, few minutes to do it, and then you can tell me what you discussed. For those people that are online, please think about it. Think about these questions. And if you wish, then you can also participate, at least write in a chat your answers. Okay, so please start discussion now. So, how are you doing? Can we stop the discussions now? I see that you are still discussing. That's great. That's great. Please return back to me, and I would like to hear maybe what you discussed. Maybe one person could share what was your discussion about. If there is any voluntary person who would like. Okay, at least then tell me, was it interesting discussion? Would you like to continue? Yeah, okay.
Excellence. Yeah, thank you. And maybe we're taking too much pressure of this word excellence. It's just, we had a conversation about that. Maybe we can share the meaning that we just need to strive for the better in our organization. So, and what mechanisms we have for that. And maybe we can align also this with traditions into institution. And yes, I think excellence is maybe a little bit strong, but okay. That's one opinion. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this opinion. And I can continue with that because actually word excellence, it's quite strong. But when we tell excellence culture, we don't mean that we are perfect in everything. We mean that we strive to be the best as we can. And we know what is our aim and where we want to be. That's excellence culture. That's what we are talking about. No organization is perfect in everything. Even those who are participating in global awards, I'm the assessor, so I know they are not perfect in everything. Just they know what's their strategy, they know what's their aim, and they are going there. And that's what's different for these type of organizations. And so I was talking about the excellence culture. The second part of the smart learning organization is the learning organization and Peter Senge. And I believe that you have heard about him. And this is the definition of the learning organization. So these are organizations that encourage adaptive and generative learning. And the people there, they have a certain mindset. They are ready for discussions. They are ready for the development. And the environment in this organization is open environment. So they are really feeling safe. Here we see the 5 parts that Peter Senge is explaining more into detail in his book. And I like this quote from Peter Senge: "Few, if any, forces in human affairs are as powerful as a shared vision." And I believe for every organization to have the shared vision, it's essential. And here you can see visually what the smart learning organization consists of. So it's a learning organization combined with excellence culture. And the KNOWLO, it's a project that is supporting organizations on their way to become smart learning organization. It's supporting organizations in this transformation. And you remember that at the beginning, I told it's important to understand why, then how, and then what. This is the what. We developed different tools that you can use. and during this process. And one of them is KNOWLO framework. Second one, it's a self-evaluation tool that is available online. And then also the database, good practice database that is also available, and resource database and guidelines for organizations, where we developed the specific methodology, the 7 steps of transformation, and it will be downloadable on a project webpage. So if you are interested in this, and if you want to get more information, definitely I suggest you can visit the webpage and get all the information you need. Here is the framework. Here are the icons for the framework. The framework consists of 7 criteria. And you can maybe think about what could be these criteria. But don't be afraid, I will show you. And the first one, it's about the organizational self-awareness, about the strategy, the direction, where the organization wants to go. The second one, it's about learning and communication, cooperation. Third, it's about organization and its people. Fourth, clients in the educational environment, students, pupils, parents, etc. Then fifth, product service orientation. Sixth, global transformation and global context. It's about how organization is looking around, what they know about the environment around them. And the seventh, it's a little bit different criterion. It's a results. It's results and benchmarking. So how the organization is analyzing their results, if they benchmark with our other organizations, etc. In the framework, there are criteria, sub-criteria, descriptions. So really, when you read the framework, I believe it's a very good tool for you on the way to understand what does this excellent organization, what does it mean? It's connected, all those criteria, nothing is separated. First one and seventh one, you see that those are on sides, and in the middle are all the others. This framework got inspired by some other models or recommendations. Here are listed the most important of them. And here is the transformation methodology in the 7 steps of transformation, how we call it. And you see that first it's making decision, then it's the training, understanding how we can implement. And then the third part is a self-assessment project, as we call it, because everything has to start with where we are, how good we are. The next point is to work with those self-assessment results, to prepare improvement projects, to realize those improvements, then to evaluate this project and learn and continue with the process. And these 2 steps are usually missing in organizations, because also when the organization performs the self-assessment, then they simply stop there. They don't continue to learn, to benchmark, to learn from each other. Here is the visual of those steps, and you see that there is a circle. It's a never-ending circle. When you want to continue to use this approach to continue to develop your organization, it's really never ending. You always return back again to the self-assessment after some while. There are some prerequisites for the implementation. And I think very important here is to create a common understanding of quality, common understanding, what does it mean for us 100%? Because for everyone in a team, it can mean something different, right? I think you know it. you know, it from your organizations, that it's not always, it's easy to agree. And if you got a little bit interested during this presentation, then you will have an opportunity to work with a platform today. I will do a workshop later, and it will be 1 hour workshop where we can really try to work with the platform and as an individual, as an organization, and I will support you in this. And the platform is divided, as I mentioned, into 2 parts. So I will explain a little bit more about this during the workshop. And then other thing that will happen today, it will be practical experience with the bench learning, with the learning from each other from Africa, that will be led by my colleague. So I really hope that you will stay also for that one. And here is some photo of all our project partners that were already introduced in the beginning, but here you can see the names and how we look like. If you are interested, you can come during the coffee break and we can have some talk. And I very like this quote, intellectuals solve problems, but geniuses prevent them. And it's again very much about the excellence culture, because we try to prevent problems, not only to solve them. And that's it from me. Thank you very much.
That was Wanda, and I would like to ask my colleague to felicitate Wanda again. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we take a short break, and after the break, when we come back, we have our another project partner who is going to talk her journey through KNOWLO, and also after that, Wanda is going to show you a bit of workshop as well. But when we go for lunch, you will need your badges which are given to you. So please wear them for lunch, and the lunch is served upstairs in the restaurant. And in case you don't have the badge, please ask us. We will give you the badge. In case you might have not signed the registration, so please sign it. And yeah, we have a 15 minutes break, and we could just have coffees outside over there, and we come back and connect in 15 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this is for the online audience. Please connect with your name, surname. Please check the chat. Please check the chat. Please connect with your original name and surname. Please do that. Lots of you are connected by my name. Please change your name. Any friends or any colleagues who know someone who has connected with the same name, try to tell them, call them, send a message. Please change your name, please.